When David and Sarah bought the old mansion outside the city, everyone warned them, "It's too cheap. There's a reason no one lives there. Strange things happen in that house." But they didn't believe in rumors. The mansion was huge, beautiful, Victorian architecture, tall windows, endless hallways, and the price, unbelievably low. It felt like a miracle, or maybe a trap. The first night. The first night was quiet, too quiet. No cars, no neighbors, no city noise, just wind brushing against the windows. At exactly 2:15 a.m., Sarah woke up. She wasn't sure why. Then she heard it, a soft sound, like footsteps, slow, dragging, coming from upstairs. David was asleep beside her. "David," she whispered. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Complete silence. She told herself it was the house settling. Old wood, old pipes, old imagination. But deep down, she knew it wasn't. The locked room. The next morning, while exploring the third floor, they found something strange. At the end of a narrow hallway, there was a door. Old, different from the others, and locked. They checked the keys the realtor had given them. None worked. "Probably just storage," David said casually, but Sarah felt uneasy. The air around that door felt colder, heavier, like the house was breathing there, watching. The neighbor's warning. Later that day, an elderly neighbor finally approached them near the gate. "You moved in?" he asked quietly. "Yes," David smiled. "Great deal, right?" The old man didn't smile back. "Did they tell you about the family?" "What family?" "The last family who lived there." Sarah felt her stomach tighten. "What happened?" The old man looked at the mansion for a long moment. "They said the house changed them." "Changed how?" "They stopped leaving, stopped talking to anyone. And one day, they were just gone. No moving trucks, no goodbye, just gone." "And the room upstairs?" Sarah asked carefully. The old man's face went pale. "You found it." He turned and walked away without another word. The second night. At 2:15 a.m. again, the footsteps returned, this time louder, closer. David heard them too. He sat up in bed. "Okay, that's not pipes." The sound moved across the ceiling, slow, deliberate. Then, a faint knock, 3 times, from above them. David grabbed a flashlight. "I'm checking it." "Don't," Sarah whispered. But he was already walking upstairs. Each step creaked. The hallway felt longer than before. The locked door stood at the end. And now, it wasn't locked. It was slightly open, just enough to see darkness inside. Cold air rushed out. David pushed it open. The room was empty. No furniture, no windows, just walls. But on the far wall, there were scratches, hundreds of them, like someone had been trying to claw their way out. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind him. The flashlight flickered, and he heard breathing. Not his own, something else, slow, right behind him. He turned around quickly. Nothing. The room was empty again, but the scratches on the wall were fresh, like they had just been made. The house reacts. After that night, things changed. Lights turned on by themselves. Doors opened, mirrors fogged up without steam, and once, Sarah saw someone standing at the end of the hallway. Tall, still, watching. When she blinked, it was gone. David started acting strange. Quiet, distant. He would stare at walls for long periods, sometimes whispering. "David?" she asked one evening. He looked at her slowly. "It doesn't want us to leave." Her blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" "It says we belong here now." The truth. Sarah searched the property records online. The mansion was over 120 years old, and every 15 to 20 years, a family moved in and then disappeared. No bodies found, no evidence, just missing. And always the same room, the locked room. She realized something horrifying. The house didn't just haunt people, it kept them. The final night. At 2:15 a.m., the entire house shook. Doors slammed, windows rattled, and the locked room door opened on its own. A voice echoed through the halls, soft, whispering, "Stay." David stood up slowly. As if in a trance, he began walking upstairs. Sarah tried to stop him, but he was too strong, too focused. When he stepped into the room, the temperature dropped instantly. Frost covered the walls. The scratches began appearing again, right before their eyes, as if invisible hands were carving them. "David!" Sarah screamed. He turned to her, but it wasn't him. His eyes looked empty, dark, and then the floor beneath him cracked, and he fell into darkness. The hole closed instantly. The room returned to normal, silent, still, as if nothing happened. The ending. The next morning, police searched the house. They found no hole, no scratches, no sign of David. Only Sarah, alone, crying. They said it was stress, imagination, trauma. She moved out the same day. The mansion was listed again, at an unbelievably low price. And 2 weeks later, a new family moved in. And at exactly 2:15 a.m., the footsteps returned.